Summer is here and you have weight that you want to get off. Well, don't worry, because today we're going through our top tips to help you lose body fat and help you feel your best and most confident self this summer. Before we hop into today's podcast, if you are looking for more specific numbers on your current macros tailored to your certain goals, whether that's fat loss or building muscle, we have 2 free resources on our website. So after you're watching the video, head over to fitgrindformula.com. You can sign up for a free macro calculation, or you can also download our free macro cheat sheet. Those are 2 free resources that you can use. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'll leave the link in the comments in the description below. Or if you're listening on a different platform after you're done watching the podcast today, head over to fitgrindformula.com and you can access those 2 free resources for more information on your nutrition.
Welcome back to our podcast. So as we are getting into warmer weather, getting into the summer, we all are thinking about weight loss and looking good in a bikini and looking good in tank tops and shorts and things like that. So today's topic is going to be on how to actually get ready to jump into a calorie deficit.
Yeah, and we're going to give you some checklist items that you need to check off before you hop into a caloric deficit. And I think that so many people want to get lean and shredded for the summer, but there are some things that you need to do first. Obviously, there's certain nutritional things that you need to incorporate, but also you need to make sure that you're ready to even get in a caloric deficit and understand your motivation for why you're trying to lose weight and set a goal. And we'll kind of talk about all that in the podcast today.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think like, what is there to get ready? All you have to do is be in a calorie deficit, but there's more that goes into that. So before getting into a caloric deficit, you need to make sure that you're not already in a caloric deficit. So if you're already in a caloric deficit, like eating 1,000 calories, 1,200 calories a day and, nibbling throughout the day, you're probably not even meeting your maintenance calories, which tells me that you've probably been in that deficit for way too long.
Yeah.
So when that happens, we need to revert back to a maintenance level before we can go into a deficit. Because if you're only eating 1,000 calories already a day, then to lose weight, you've got to be eating like 700 to 800 calories a day, which is not recommended.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
And yes, I mean, I eat that probably within the first 4 hours that I'm awake. So and if you sign up for a free macro calculation on our website, that's where we're going to set you. You might get that back and you're like, wait a second, that seems like a lot of food. We're setting you still in a caloric deficit, but it's a small caloric deficit. And that's where a lot of our clients will sit when they're trying to lose body fat. And that's what we prescribe for a lot of our clients, either in person or online. Because what most people think is that they need to extremely cut their calories. And the problem when you do that is, 1, it's not sustainable, and 2, you get really close to your basal metabolic rate and your progress is going to plateau. You're not going to make the changes that you want. You're not going to have the energy that you would like to have in the gym to actually make progress. So if you sign up for a free macro calculation and you get those macros back, just understand that we're setting you still in a deficit so you can eat that amount of food to lose weight, but eating that amount of food is going to help you come into the gym, give good effort so you can keep making progress, because that is what's going to help you lose the weight. It's the combination of diet and exercise where you're going to optimize your program. Yes, you can lose weight through just diet, and yes, you can lose weight through just exercise, but the combination of those 2 things is so much more powerful, especially when they're working synergistically with each other. Yeah, so with that being said, don't hop onto these macros and give it a couple days, give it a week and say, I'm just not seeing results. You got to give it some time, especially if you were starting at a place that was, like I said, an extreme low, or even if you were starting at a place where you were way overeating. And as long as we are consistent and being realistic with ourselves and every bite that goes into your mouth counts, then you can say, okay, nothing's happening. I need to make some changes. But give yourself at least 3 weeks to a month to see some changes and let your body adapt to that. But I think that's really important, is just to find a good starting place. So start by tracking what you're eating right now. And if that's not even near maintenance or way below your basal metabolic rate, then you need to bring that number up before going into a cut.
Yeah. And like kind of Alyssa's mentioned too, like our bodies aren't meant to be in a caloric deficit for our entire life. We're meant to spend these phases in a deficit, and most of the time we should be somewhere around our maintenance calories. And you can still lose body fat in a maintenance amount of calories. It's not going to be as fast. Same thing, you can also gain muscle in a maintenance calories phase, but it's not going to be as rapid of muscle gain or weight gain. So you need to just, I think the biggest, most powerful thing is just determining what your goal is, why you want to achieve that. Give yourself a timeline to where if you are saying, I just want to lose weight, well, that's so broad, that's so general.
Yeah.
Like, I want to lose 8 pounds in 8 weeks. That's a great goal. Like we always tell clients, anywhere from like a half a pound to about 1.5 pounds of weight loss per week is a really good sustainable weight loss, where a lot of that is probably going to be coming from body fat, where as if we're losing less than 0.5 pound a week, we're not losing enough weight. And if we're losing more than 1.5 pounds consistently, we start to run the risk of losing muscle mass. So I think, really just think about what it is that you want to achieve. And if it is a weight loss goal, if it is a body fat loss goal, track it through some sort of either scale or a body composition scale, or maybe go get your body fat tested. Just see where you're at so you have actual concrete numbers, and then set a timeline, create a plan, and just focus on what it is that you're trying to do. Where I think so many people, you ask people, or we hop on a phone call and we do consults with people, what's your goal? I want to lose weight. What's your goal? I want to build muscle. Okay, let's get really specific with it. Let's actually focus, because what I find is when you focus on, especially giving your goal a timeline, each workout, each meal, each day counts, because it's a piece of a puzzle, and you're going to see better results when you chunk it down into a smaller time frame versus just this broad, like, I want to lose body fat, I want to build muscle, I want to look better, I want to get in shape. Those are awesome goals, but just be even more specific with it.
Yeah, and if you're late to the party and you're behind on getting started on your goal, that doesn't mean that you need to make these dramatic changes, because what happens when you do that is, yes, you're going to see results right away, but is that going to be sustainable and going to be long-term? Probably not. So if you're trying to lose 10 pounds, a few weeks before going on a vacation, you may be able to lose that 10 pounds, but chances are that 10 pounds is going to be muscle mass, which that's ideal to keep, because that's going to help us burn calories efficiently and more calories so that we can eat more. And on top of that, that's not something that we're going to be able to keep off. So we're going to go on this vacation, and chances are we're just going to gain that 10 pounds back. So what we're saying is, make sure that these goals that you have are realistic goals, and are goals that aren't super short term, that you want to get them done super quick, and then they end up being something that just comes right back. And then you're constantly spinning your wheels trying to lose weight, but you can only lose so much weight in short bursts of time versus something that you can keep the weight off and lose it in a shorter amount of time. And that might not be the answer that you want to hear, and that might be frustrating, and you may want to give up because it's so frustrating to have to revert back to maintenance calories and then go into the deficit. And it may be a longer process, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a more substantial and more realistic outcome.
Yeah, this is all about a lifestyle. This is not about quick fixes. We're not believers in fast 21-day diets or anything crazy like that. So when I say chunk it into a timeline, it's not like, oh, we're going to go hard and we're going to be super restrictive for 8 weeks and then we're just going to go back to normal. It's no, like, let's chunk it down into, like, we do an 8-week challenge here at the gym with clients, and it's not meant to be like, at the end of this 8 weeks, it's going to answer all of your weight loss problems. You're going to reach all your goals. It's meant to focus. Let's make some good progress. Let's set some good habits. And then at the end of that 8 weeks, let's continue those habits so we can continuously making progress. And I think that's where a lot of people think with diets and with losing weight and gaining muscle is they set unrealistic habits to start with, so it's hard to sustain that in the future. And if your goal is to lose weight, you don't want to work really hard to get that weight off and then put it back on. If your goal is to build muscle and you put on a lot of muscle and strength, and then you just go back and you revert to what you were doing before and you lose your muscle and strength, that was a lot of hard work wasted. So set awesome goals, set these really challenging goals. The sky's always the limit, but don't be so quick to I want to get there tomorrow. You have to learn to enjoy the process, enjoy every pound of fat that you lose, enjoy every time that you add 5 pounds to the bar at the gym, or you grab 5 pounds heavier on a dumbbell, or you hit your first pull-up, or you were able to do your first 10 push-ups. All those milestones, you need to celebrate those things, because those are the things that keep you going versus, I'm just going to lose weight in 30 days and be done with it. That never works. You never sustain that weight loss. And it's all about this lifestyle, the fitness lifestyle. If you can be consistent over 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, that's what's going to make the most amount of impact on your body composition and also your health.
Yeah. And you're never going to enjoy the gym. I feel like that's a constant battle with people, is they come in here and they're like, I'm just not motivated. I'm not enjoying my workouts. Well, a lot of that is on you, because you came on too strong, went too hard, and sometimes it takes easing into that for you to learn how to enjoy them and learn to, like you said, celebrate the small victories, because that goes without saying that, you're going to have these ups and downs of not wanting to come to the gym, but in order to keep yourself coming in here, you do have to celebrate the small wins.
Yeah, 100%. So what we kind of want to talk about next too is just some things that you need to take care of outside of the gym, outside of your nutrition, that are also going to have a positive or negative impact on your weight loss, or even if you're looking to build muscle or any fitness goal that you have. That's going to be kind of the checklist of, are you ready to set a goal? Are you ready to focus and work towards reaching a goal through the stress in your life, whatever that stress may be, the habits that you good or bad are practicing right now. So we can kind of talk about that, some things that you need to focus on as well outside of the nutrition, outside of the gym, that are going to make a huge difference in your weight loss journey or building muscle journey or any fitness goal that you have.
Yeah, these can be simple things like, am I getting enough sleep? Am I getting enough water? Am I fueling my body with healthy foods, such as not ultra processed foods? So starting off with these small steps before jumping into this weight loss journey, I think is just a good general way to ease into that calorie deficit. So are you getting enough sleep? That looks like at least that 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. And a lot of people think, they may be getting enough sleep, but in reality, they still wake up feeling groggy and tired. And that typically means they're not getting good quality sleep. So with that being said, typically that can be some underlying stress that you're going through. So evaluate what's going on in your life. Are you, did you just start a new job? If you just started a new job, you're, lots of changes are happening. You're trying to get used to that new routine in your life. So that's probably not the best time to bring on more stress, where you're having more changes and putting on more stress onto the body.
Yeah, sleep is a huge thing that I know personally. I struggle in this area, and sometimes I have to be real with myself and understand, with the goals that I have currently, am I able, time, stress, workload, all the things going on in life, am I able to maximize that? And my goal right now is to build muscle, build strength. And the way our life is right now, with work, with kids' sports, not complaining, but just being real with the time constraints that we have. We're busy at work. We're busy with kids' sports. Usually 45 to 60 minutes is about all I have to work out. That's all I can allocate mentally. That's also all I can really handle. And, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I've been through phases where I can work out for an hour and a half or 2 hours a day. Mm-hmm. I'm not in a point right now in my life where I can do that. That's perfectly fine. You can still see great results on 30-minute workouts, 45-minute workouts. It just has to be focused, and it has to be really structured
Yes.
So it can't just be this random, like, I'm going to go work out type of thing. It's still structured. There's still a purpose and intensity with every workout. But you have to realize too that all the things going on in your life also affect your fitness and your ability to work towards a goal. And if you're not sleeping, if you have constant stress with family, with work, with financial things going on in your life, that all negatively impacts your ability to lose weight, your hormone regulation, your ability to focus. Levels. Yeah, your ability to focus on workouts. You're running, your engine's revving all the time. So those things do positively or negatively impact your fitness results. So you have to also look at those things in your life. Look for ways that you can minimize stress. Look for ways that you can optimize your sleep. Look for ways that you can get more water, for ways that you can just stack these things up in your favor versus if all these things are stacked against you, that also can negatively impact your ability to stick with the program, give good effort, and ultimately see the results that you want to see.
Yeah, I think what really sticks out to me in this is at the end of the day, I just want to be a good person. I want to be a good mom. I want to be a good wife. I want to be a good friend, family member, etc. But I know that if I don't have those things, sleep, stress, all under control, and then I add in the diet part. I mean, I've been there where I've been in that calorie restriction for far too long, but that affects my mood. It affects me wanting to do anything. It affects my energy. It affects me deciding whether or not I want to go to the park with the kids or go out to dinner with family or friends. It draws you back from being able to do those things because you only have so much energy left in your tank when you are in that deficit. So use that sparingly, use that wisely. But if you have all those factors that, like the sleep and the stress, that you're not able to even, refuel for the rest of the day, then you really have nothing left. Yeah. Nothing to give. Yep. And that affects relationships. And that's important to me. So I think that's the number one thing too, is like, am I in a good position to still be the person that I want to be in order to get into this deficit?
No, 100%. I mean, fitness should add to your life. It shouldn't be your life. We've said that so many times, and we've taken it to extremes. And one off the top of my head, last year for a wedding, I set the goal. I wanted to get 8% body fats on our wedding day. I achieved that goal, but with a cost. I would come home after work, and I'm tired after work in general, but it was another level. I had nothing to give. I was foggy. I didn't have anything to give for you or for the kids or just anything, So like my energy was so low. So you have to realize like there's always trade-offs for every goal. If you're trying to get to 7-8% body fat, don't expect to feel really amazing every single day with your energy. Don't expect to feel really strong in your workouts and have this limitless energy. Like it's not going to be that way. So you have to realize that there's always trade-offs. And at the end of the day, I think the best goal that you can set is prioritizing your health. If you take care of your body and you focus on being healthy and focus on being consistent, a lot of other things are going to take care of themselves as long as you are doing the right things. But I think that's one thing where I'm at a point in my life where, yes, I have body composition goals and I have performance goals, but the goal that matters the most is my health, so that I can be here for you, so I can be here for this family, so I can show up for this business, so I can do the things that I want to do, and that's kind of my main goal right now. So I think that's a really good way to approach it, or that's personally how I like to approach it, because if you have your health, you have a lot.
Yeah. I think something too that you can add to that checklist is checking out your hormone levels too, getting a, blood draw and seeing where all of that stands too, because when we do go into that deficit, chances are like our hormones are going to end up getting out of whack. I know for females specifically, when I was in that bikini competition, my body percent dropped so quickly and so low that I ended up losing my cycle and losing my period. And so you really got to think about that stuff. And so if you're trying to get pregnant, or you're, just trying to get started in creating a family, really think about, okay, is this worth jeopardizing my hormones to get to an extreme low in body fat percentage? or do I want to be cautious of where my hormones stand right now and maybe consider putting that first before jumping into a deficit?
Yeah, no. These are all, tips that we have on losing body fat, especially if you're looking at like body composition leading up to the summer. Like it's never too late to start. And if you have a goal and it's really broad right now, just hone it in a little bit, be a little more specific and set yourself a timeline. And I promise you that each workout, each meal, each day is going to count a little bit more. And in turn, you're just going to see a little bit better results over the long term.
So when we are diving into workouts, as far as jumping into a deficit, I think it's important to note that when we do add in, going from 0 to 100, add in these workouts, that putting that added stress on our bodies is only going to cause our bodies to want to hold on to fat. So be cautious of that too. If we're going from 0 to 100 in both diet and both workouts, keep in mind that if you're not seeing results, that you're probably not eating enough.
Yeah.
Which we've done a full podcast on that. So be sure to check that one out.
Yeah, you have to fuel your body. Otherwise, if you don't give it the proper fuel, it's not going to go anywhere. Just like a car. If you don't fill up your gas tank, your car's not going to get very far. So this is everything that we have talked about on as far as losing body fats. Like we said, if you guys have more specific questions or you're looking for more specific tailoring around your macros, you have no clue what that looks like, what you should be eating, the percentage, head over to our website. Like I said, I left a link in the comments in the description below on YouTube, or head over to fitgrindformula.com. You can fill out that form and we'll do a free custom macro calculation for that. And you can also download our free macro cheat sheet. So check those out. So those are 2 great free resources that you can use to give more structure with your nutrition.
Yeah. We'll see you guys in the next episode.